guys, this is Stephanie and I'm Stacks on Stacks on Stacks. Today I am coming to you guys with my spring TBR, which I am pretty excited about. I meant to film this video weeks ago, but if you watched my last one, you heard me say I've been busy and I haven't had time to film or edit or breathe sometimes. So it is coming to you guys a little bit late, but I am excited about my spring reads. I'm first going to go over all of my winter reads, what they were and what I did with them. Now my TBR for my winter reads came up a little bit late, so it's actually a shorter TBR. Plus I kind of thought I would be a little bit busy, so I did pull back a little there. Spring, I know I'm busy, but I still have a huge stack of books. I would say I stuck to my TBR pretty well. I'm first going to list the books that I did read off of it, and then I'm going to list the books that I didn't, just so you know. Books I did read was Alloy of Law by Brandon Sanderson, Soulless by Gail Carriger, Vicious by V.E. Schwab, ABC Murders by Agatha Christie, Arch Enemies by Marissa Meyer, Towering Sky by Katharine McGee, Salt of the Seas by Ruta Sepetys, 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart something. I don't have the book here right now. Mary Poppins by P.L. Travers, I think. And then Bear and the Nightingale, which I actually am not quite done with. I have like maybe 4 chapters left, but I'm going to leave my winter TBR because I can't take it to my spring TBR because it is such a winter read. I just can't put on my spring TBR. I just can't. Ones I didn't get to in the winter was Iron Gold by Pierce Brown, Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, Poppy War, Time Traveling Fashionista, Emma, and the third collection of Dorothy Must Die short stories. And I got a majority of those read, so I feel pretty good about that. And I'm only moving a few of those over to my spring TBR. I kind of just came up with new things on my spring TBR, to be honest, which is, I'm sure, exactly what I need to have a list of books I just always want to read, never get to. I'm going to start out with the third Percy Jackson book, The Titan's Curse. This is technically a reread. I did read this years and years ago, but I don't remember any of it at all. I don't know if I was in a bad mood when I was reading it or if I wasn't in the mood for this or what, but I'm hoping to get to this one before the end of March to kind of lump it in with my middle grade March stuff. I wanted to read 5 books for middle grade March, and I think I'm at 3 right now, so I gotta crack out 2 more of these this month. However, if I don't get to it in March, I'm still going to be reading it this spring. I think most of you guys know what Percy Jackson is about. Basically, this kid named Percy finds out that his father is one of the main gods of Olympus, and so he's part god, part human, and he gets sent to a camp Half-Blood, which is a camp for kids who have one parent who is a god. And it follows the Greek gods and all that fun kind of stuff. This is the 3rd book in the series, so obviously I'm not going to talk too much about what it's about. The other middle grade book I would like to get read by the end of the month as part of middle grade March, but if I don't, like I said, I will be reading it this spring. It's going to be The Arithmetist by Brandon Sanderson. I don't know hugely what this is about, but I do know it has to do with chalk drawings, and there's magic in chalk drawings, something like that. It sounds kind of stupid, I'm not going to lie, but it's Brandon Sanderson. I've been told it's actually very, very good. So I'm hoping to get this one by the end of the month, but we will see. Now, I did throw 2 of my big books on this TBR because I need to get going on those because it's March and I haven't read a single big book this year. So if I'm going to do that, I got to do it. So the first one I decided to read this spring is A Layer of Dreams by Libba Bray. This is the 2nd book in the Diviners series. I am excited to get to this one. I kind of had to digest the first book for a few months and really think of what it was about and also appreciate the fact that I really enjoyed that book, but it was very intricate and it had a lot of little details and I had to think about it for a while after I read it. So I think I'm ready for this one now. I'm hoping to get to it in the next month or 2. It might even be May before I actually pick it up, but this is one I want to get read this spring. I also want to get to 11/22/63 by Stephen King. Now, this is a very big chunker of a book. It'll be the other book that I have on my big books list that is on my spring TBR. So in the comments of the video about big books I had, this was the book that was requested for me to read the most. So I decided I would just start with it. Or why not just read it and go with it? I am excited to start this one. Basically, it is about a guy who finds a way to travel back in time to stop the assassination of JFK. I believe, though, he goes too far back and then he has to live life for a while until it happens. And I don't really know much beyond that. I know a few things that I think are spoilers, but I'm not going to say those to you guys. I am excited to get this one. I'm not going to lie. I'm super intimidated. I'm trying to rally myself and be like, okay, I'm going to start this next few weeks because yeah. Now, I also have Sabriel by Garth Nix now. I picked this one up probably like 3 weeks ago, and I got halfway through it. And I'm not loving this. I don't want to DNF it, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm really not liking this book. I'm not enjoying it. I'm not getting into it. It's pretty slow moving, and it's supposed to be this really great magic thing, and it is a struggle for me right now. So I set it down, but I'm going to pick it up and finish it this spring. I just don't know when, because I really wasn't into it. And maybe I was just in the mood for something else, or I don't know what. But if you guys have read this one, please tell me to push through or tell me to put it down, because I don't know what to expect from this. I'm going to be honest, but I did throw it on my TBR. I also decided to throw in here This Adventure Ends by Emma Mills. Now this is one, I got this a few years ago, and I heard about it from somebody on BookTube, maybe Jessie the Reader or Maureen Keevy or somebody like that, was like, it's a very sweet contemporary book. It's not centered around romance, it's centered more around friendship. And I thought that sounded very springy. I think it sounds pretty good. I think it's about a girl who moves from New York City to Florida, or Florida to New York City, I don't remember which, and like making new friends and making a new life and stuff like that, like a teenage girl. So I'm hoping I will like this one, and I'm hoping I can get to it this spring. I also am going to be picking up Elantris, also by Brandon Sanderson. This was a book club pick for one of my book clubs. So I think we have to the end of April to read it, though. I haven't even started it yet. Probably should do that because it's a chunker too. I think this was actually on my big books list too. Hey, that's 3 off my big book list. I'm pretty happy with that. I didn't realize that, but I will be getting to this one. I don't remember exactly what this is about a planet, I think, that's dying or something, and then there's magic because it's Sanderson, so I'm sure it's going to be great. It, for some reason, doesn't intimidate me as much as the Stephen King one, but it is, yeah, I'll read it. I'm going to read it. It's going to happen. I only threw one Agatha Christie in here because I had so many other books, and I thought, well, if I'm in the mood for a Christie, I'll go ahead and pick up By the Pricking of My Thumbs by Agatha Christie. It's pretty, has the plastic on it still, so there you go. This is the 4th one in the Tommy and Tuppence series. I am excited to pick up the 4th one. It has been a while since I read the 3rd one, like maybe over a year since I read the 3rd one, but they kind of build on themselves, so I'm sure they'll remind me of whatever it is I need to know. But if I'm in the mood for a Christie, I'm probably going to grab this one. I also was suggested Every Heart a Doorway by Shawnee McGuire. A friend of mine suggested this in real life. I'm meeting people in real life who read it. So exciting. But she said she read this for a book club, and they're really short. They're like novella-sized books. I think there's 4 in the series, maybe 5. I can't quite remember now. But she suggested to read this, and she's like, it's a quick read. You're gonna like it. It's a great story. The problem is, I feel like people either love this series and her writing, or they hate it. And I'm just not sure what side of the fence I'm gonna be on for that. So I'm hoping I will love it. I'm hoping it'll be a really great read, and it's a short one, so I felt pretty confident adding it to my TBR. Next is a book I'm sure you guys are tired of seeing on my TBR, and that is The Demon King by Cinda Williams Chima. I need to start the series. I need to pick this up. This is one of those series that I'm like, why haven't I started it? I don't hear negative things about the series. I don't hear a ton about it, so I have a feeling that it was an older series that just doesn't get talked about a lot on BookTube, which doesn't mean it's not good. It just means that there's newer and shinier objects for people to play with. I have a feeling I will really like this book. I want to read this book. I need to read this book, so I'm going to keep it on my TBR until I do it. Next, I have Pride by Ibi Zoboi. And this actually, technically, I started this one. And I got about halfway through it. This is a retelling of Pride and Prejudice, kind of in Brooklyn, like in the hood, with diverse characters. And my problem with this was I started it and I didn't like the way they were writing Elizabeth. I thought she was kind of aggressive, and I'm like, Elizabeth's not aggressive. And maybe that's just part of the new version of it, but I do need to finish this one up. So I decided I'm going to throw it on this list since it's pink and it looks springy. I'm going to hopefully finish it in the next few months. And I also threw Shadow and Bone on here. Again, this is one that has been on my TBR for a while by Leigh Bardugo. I need to read this book. I need to get into this series because I love her writing. I love her writing. I'm sure I'm going to love this series. I'm sure I'm just going to go through all 3 books like it's nobody's business. I just need to start them, is what I need to do. I also would like to read Julia Vanishes by Katherine Egan. And this is one I started and then I restarted it because I couldn't remember anything about it. I got about a quarter of the way into it, and all I could remember was like her name. Like, it's kind of sad. So I restarted it and about a month ago, and I was like, you know what? I do like this one. So I'm probably going to pick it back up and finish it up this spring. Basically, it's about a girl named Julia who has the ability to like blend in and like will people to not see her. So I don't know if she goes into thieving or what. I mean, that's what people who aren't seen do, right? Probably. Great opportunity. So I'm hoping to get to this one as well. It sounds very interesting. And then I got the second one off Book Outlet like a month ago on a book haul. So I feel like I need to read it. And then I kind of forgot this one. This is The Time Traveling Fashionista. It's a pretty cover, but it's not the cover. I don't know where that one went. But this is one, I actually think this qualifies more as a middle grade than a YA. And it actually is pretty drawings too, which I'm a sucker for drawings. Look at those pretty drawings. Look at those pretty dresses. So all I know is about a girl who loves fashion, and I believe she gets like sucked back to the Titanic or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to try and get this one read actually in March this month so it can count towards my middle grade March tally. And it's one that I started again and I got like a quarter of the way through and I just set it down, but it was so long ago when I got a quarter of the way through it that I need to start it over again. And then I grabbed 2 classics for this spring as well. I went ahead and I grabbed Emma. Here we go. By Jane Austen. This is one that I had on my list on the winter TBR, and I don't think I read any classics in winter, so I need to get on my classics if I'm going to get my 6 classics read, or 10, or whatever it was I said I was going to read. I need to start doing that. The problem is I watch YouTube videos and everybody says this is a great book and that is a great book, and then I like get them from the library or I'll get them on audiobook or something like that, and then I'm reading my library books and my audiobooks, not reading the books that I own. You see where the problem is? This is a problem. I need to be getting on Emma. This is one, I thought I had read this for years, and then I'm like, maybe I haven't read it. I thought I read it in high school, and looking back, maybe I just read part of it and I didn't finish it. I mean, I know how it ends. I've seen Clueless. Hello. But I don't know if I've read this one, so I need to read it. Yes, I do. And the last one I have is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. This is one that I wanted to actually pick up like this last summer. I was like, ooh, I want to pick this up. Ooh, I want to read this one. And I got it from the library and I just didn't pick it up and I didn't pick it up. But I actually feel like I'm more in the mood for it now. So I'm hoping that I can get to it the next few weeks and I can read it because it does sound interesting, and I actually have the movie as well. It's an old movie, but I have it and I really want to watch it, but not until I read the book. So that is it, you guys. This is my spring TBR. By all means, please comment down below if you've read any of these and your thoughts on them, because I would love to know. I also want to know what one book you're definitely going to be getting through this spring. Leave that down below. And I thank you all for bearing with me as I'm just slowly putting out 1 video a week. I'm trying to get out more, but like I said, I've been pretty busy, so I appreciate your guys' patience. But don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Please leave your comment because I love your guys' comments, and hopefully I'll be back super soon with another video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.